I'm Julianne Neal, and I'm so excited to be here to speak about a book called Racing with My Shadow, which I thought was just a phenomenal book. And the author is here with us tonight, Karen Rogers. Karen, welcome to the EQUUS Film and Arts Fest.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be part of your event and all that you do for the horses and for everybody.
Well, it's wonderful to be a part of the team. It really is, and so much has gone into this. I just was your book really caught me from the front cover, which I found out later was an illustration by your mother. Which look at all the beautiful artwork behind you. I just found out you're at your mom's house. So,
Right.
first of all, before we talk about the book, tell
That's
us
the
a little bit
cover.
about your backdrop.
Oh yeah, this is my mom's house, and these are all her paintings. She's a pastel artist, and she was at the track. When I was riding, she started her art business and was doing a lot of horses. In fact, the one here with the two horses, that's Light Light and Meadow Star. They were like back and forth winning. One belonged to MC Hammer and one belonged to Carl Icahn. So both of them ended up buying the same picture, but like I think one was ahead and the other one, so they were neck and neck. So
That's great.
and that's the cover of my book. That one, that's when I won my first stakes race at Belmont in 1981. And we decided a long time ago when I wrote the book, and originally in 1990, that was going to be the cover, and we had the title and the cover before the book was even written. So,
well, it's a beautiful cover, and it captured me right away. And when I opened the book and you start reading all of the reviews from award-winning news reporters, sports reporters, and top trainers and top jockeys, Chris McCarron and others, just speaking so highly of you and your work. And then I read on into the book, and you talk about some highs and lows. Can you tell us about the book project and a little bit about the background?
well, for the beginning of the book, it was interesting. That was my mom's idea. She's the art. So she had the artsy, she picked all the pictures, or 70 pictures in it. But she decided, why don't we take little clips and pictures from all your scrapbooks? I had 47 scrapbooks. So I was able to document everything with everything that I remembered was because of the scrapbooks. And so anyway, so the book was actually written in 89 and 90, and Simon & Schuster wanted it, but I didn't want them to make changes. And they gave me a little tape recorder, and they said, why don't you talk between races about finish your book in the jocks room talking. I said, I can't talk it, I got to write it. And I didn't want an editor to do it. I wanted to do it my way, my story. And so it was 27 years later before I pulled it out. I homeschooled my son, and I learned better writing skills and editing skills teaching homeschool kids writing. So I was editing papers, and I got really good at editing. And so my original was 1,400 pages. So my mom would cut this story, cut this character, and then I would blend it. So we got it down to 400 pages, but it's still, it moves so fast because all the side trails are gone. It's really, it's either emotion or it's action.
Right.
It keeps you going through it. So.
Absolutely. Well, it took a lot of courage to live through what you've lived through, to be honest, and a lot more courage to write it down and be willing to share your story. So, what has been the most rewarding thing about the book coming out?
Helping other people that went through what I went through. That's why I did it. It's it's my personal story of abuse, and I escaped into racing. And a lot of people that are very successful are running from themselves. In my book, there's the real me who was bad, that was who was abused, and then Karen the jockey was good. So a lot of people that even in Hollywood that do succeed, that drive, it comes from inside you where you think you're bad and you want to prove you're good. And it doesn't really heal the wound, which ended up being healed at the end of my book, you'll see. But that drive was that focus. I had to do it no matter what. And so that's why I was so good at writing what I did. I was so focused. And so I had to prove to myself that I was somebody worthy of living. And so, but my book has sold because of the jockey part of it. But the people that have been wounded the way I was, I have had so many men and women that have contacted me, and they've been healed. And we've been talking. And because as a child, you blame yourself, and it's not your fault. So there's been a lot of people carry this secret with their whole life. And that's been the most rewarding, is helping other people that went through what I did. So
That's wonderful. Yeah. And you're right. By the end of the story, talk about a story arc, because in the beginning, it was very painful to read, and part of, a lot of the parts all the way through were hard. And so I won't give away too much so